Welcome to the debate. Today, we're diving into really a critical challenge facing leaders right now as AI reshapes our organizations. How do we successfully navigate transformational change that's driven by artificial intelligence? Our discussion today, it's deeply rooted in the practical insights from a step-by-step guide to building trust and buy-in during change, and also the comprehensive AI leader brief. So the core question we'll explore is this. When you're leading AI-driven organizational change, what truly drives success? Is it primarily cultivating human trust and psychological safety, creating an environment where people feel secure and empowered? Or is it establishing a really robust strategic and technical understanding of AI implementation, making sure leaders truly grasp the technology's capabilities and its implications? My position is going to champion the human element. I believe trust and psychological safety are the essential bedrock for any successful AI integration.
And I'll be arguing that while, yes, those human factors are indeed important, they can't really effectively accelerate change unless leaders also possess a sophisticated strategic and, frankly, technical understanding of AI itself. Without that foundational grasp, well, even the most well-intentioned efforts to build trust risk faltering pretty quickly when the technical reality set in.
Right. Well, my conviction is that the primary driver for successful AI integration, and especially for sustained change, lies unequivocally in building that human trust and ensuring psychological safety. As the step-by-step guide compellingly highlights, and I quote, "Change is hard because most of the time they don't know if they can trust the person leading it." Now, this isn't just about, soft skills. It's a strategic imperative. It really dictates how every single individual, from frontline staff right up to senior managers, will experience and ultimately embrace this really profound shift. Think about it. Every human brain runs this unconscious background check, right? Assessing its environment through Judith Glaser's 5 core questions: protect, connect, belong, be strong, and partner. Protect asks, am I safe here? Is my job secure? Connect is all about feeling part of the team still. Belong, well, that's about fitting into this new kind of evolving culture with AI. Be strong addresses competence. Can I actually master these new AI tools and, remain valuable? And partner is about co-creation. Can I help shape this change, or am I just going to be subjected to it? Now, if leaders don't proactively address these really deeply human questions, people will naturally they'll stall, avoid, or do the bare minimum. The article's 5-step process. It offers a clear path. For example, framing AI as a tool to maybe help free up time for more meaningful work rather than, say, for tracking performance, or assuring individuals they still own the final say when using AI as a skill builder. The AI leader brief just nails it. Trust isn't soft, it's a competitive advantage. AI accelerates tasks. Trust accelerates people. That isn't just a powerful statement, it's a strategic imperative. An AI system might process information in milliseconds, sure. But if your team doesn't trust its output, or if they fear the system's intent, that speed is frankly irrelevant. The real competitive advantage emerges when human teams feel empowered by AI, not paralyzed by it. So for leaders, this means viewing trust building not as some nice-to-have HR thing, but as a critical path to maximizing the AI investment's ROI and making sure all the different roles across the organization can genuinely lean into the change.
Okay, well, I certainly acknowledge the undeniable value of trust. I mean, who wouldn't? Cultivating human trust alone is, I believe, simply insufficient for successful AI-driven change without a deep, strategic, and technical understanding of the technology itself. The AI Leader Brief emphasizes AI mastery, leveraging technology to accelerate tasks and decision-making as critical for truly orchestrating momentum. Without leaders possessing this mastery, well, even the most well-intentioned trust-building efforts can lead to implementations that are, frankly, misguided or just ineffective. Let's consider what that mastery actually entails. The quick guide for leaders in AI vendor solutions meetings, which is highlighted in the brief, underscores this. It details the necessity of understanding concepts like generative AI, fine-tuning, and retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. Let's maybe quickly demystify those for a moment. Generative AI, that's the stuff that creates new content. Think Chat GPT, but in an enterprise context. Fine-tuning is when you take one of these big general models and you train it specifically on your company's own proprietary data to make it incredibly relevant and accurate for your internal operations. And RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, that's a clever way to ensure that generative AI isn't just, making things up, but is actually pulling answers from a trusted, verifiable source of information, like your company's internal documents or knowledge base. Now, without a basic grasp of these technologies, how can a leader ask the right crucial questions about training data, accuracy, bias control, data security, in a vendor meeting? It's tough. Satya Nadella's insight: AI is the ultimate co-pilot, but what matters most is human judgment, human empathy, and human creativity, is often cited, and is powerful. But it implies that while human qualities are key, leaders must first understand how to effectively utilize AI as that co-pilot. And that requires technical discernment to guide its strategic application and ensure its efficacy, especially when you consider how all the various roles, from, say, data analysts to marketing specialists, will actually interact with these pretty sophisticated tools. Without this technical understanding, any trust built is, I'd argue, built on a potentially shaky, maybe uninformed foundation.
But isn't it true that the technical foundation, while undeniably crucial, often isn't the thing that stops a rollout? What often prevents even the most, brilliant tech rollout from succeeding is a fundamental human barrier. Let's dig into that initial point of resistance. How does an individual actually feel when AI is introduced into their daily workflow? Imagine Sarah, okay? She's a longtime manager. Her team's now told they'll be using an AI assistant. Her immediate thought probably isn't about the algorithm's architecture. It's, will this AI undermine my authority? Will my team even trust me if AI is making decisions? You see, this fundamental human reaction is where change truly begins or stalls. The experience of change for individuals across all roles is fundamentally shaped by whether they feel safe. That protect, connect, belong, be strong partner framework, it directly addresses this initial fear. A primary concern in any new initiative, especially with something as potent as AI, is, do I need to guard myself here? The step-by-step guide states it very clearly. If your team doesn't feel safe with you, it doesn't matter how good your plan is. This just emphasizes that for any individual to lean into AI, leaders must first establish safety. They need to frame the change as an opportunity for growth and efficiency, not some kind of threat to their job security or their competence. By addressing this fundamental human need first, then we build buy-in from the ground up, positively shaping their initial experience and paving the way for genuine engagement, whether they're a software engineer or a customer service representative.
Right. I appreciate the focus on human comfort. And look, those initial reactions are very real. I agree. However, I'd argue that prioritizing psychological safety without a really firm grasp of AI's technical implications is, well, it's kind of like building a beautiful house on a shaky foundation. That trust you built, it will inevitably collapse when the technical vulnerabilities or limitations surface. Leaders have to recognize that psychological safety alone does not dictate effective or, more importantly, sustainable AI adoption. Without a strategic understanding of AI's capabilities, the nuances of vendor solutions, leaders risk presenting what is ultimately a flawed plan, no matter how safely they frame it. Let's take your example of Sarah, the manager. Okay, she feels safe initially, but if her leadership team cannot intelligently vet a Gen AI solution for its training data, its accuracy, or explain how a fine-tuned model will actually secure proprietary company information, well, any initial trust built will quickly erode when the technical issues, or worse, security concerns, inevitably arise. Imagine an IT manager who's told AI is safe and will help their team, but then they cannot get concrete answers about data governance or integration with existing systems or the actual risk profile. That safety vanishes. For roles across an entire organization to genuinely embrace AI and truly integrate it, they need not just safety but also confidence. Confidence in the technical validity, the reliability, and the security of the tools being introduced. So this technical assurance, for me, it's actually a prerequisite for sustained psychological safety in an AI context. A leader promising safety without being able to demonstrate technical diligence is ultimately offering false comfort, I think.
But my line of reasoning here is that the framework for building trust isn't just about individual reassurance. It's actually designed to scale beyond those one-on-one interactions. It's about creating a culture where change is embraced collectively. The team exercise you can run this week, outlined in the guide, it demonstrates this pretty beautifully, I think. It encourages teams to reflect on those 5 core questions: protect, connect, belong, be strong, partner, and then collaboratively identify AI-enabled solutions that address their specific challenges. See, this isn't just a top-down mandate. This is co-creation. And that co-creation, it fosters collective ownership, ensuring that, as the guide says, the change doesn't just stick, it speeds up. Imagine a sales team, for instance, collectively exploring how AI can maybe help them personalize outreach more effectively, rather than just fearing it's going to replace their client relationships entirely. This kind of inclusive approach ensures that change isn't merely tolerated by different roles, whether it's marketing or operations or finance, but it's actively embraced and driven by them. It connects their individual experiences of feeling safe and competent to, broader organizational momentum. In fact, the AI leader brief itself highlights that building trust and buy-in during change is your quick guide to creating momentum for chronic change, emphasizing, I think, the scalable nature of this human-centered approach.
Okay, while those team exercises are undoubtedly beneficial for localized engagement, I'm still not convinced that organization-wide AI integration can truly be achieved with just localized trust building. Achieving truly transformative AI integration, it demands more than just bottom-up enthusiasm. It really requires clear, technically informed strategic direction from the top. Let's look at the data in the AI leader brief. It notes that PwC's 2024 trust survey shows 86% of executives say they trust employees, but only 60% of employees feel highly trusted. That's a significant gap, right? 26%. That trust gap can't be fully bridged by team exercises alone. It also requires leadership to demonstrate competence and vision in the technology itself. If employees don't see that leaders actually understand the tech, why should they feel fully trusted or trust the direction? And think about this. Without a comprehensive understanding of how AI tools like, say, RAG systems will integrate with existing enterprise data, legacy systems, cross-departmental processes, well, individual teams might just develop disparate, siloed solutions that don't scale or communicate effectively. Imagine the chaos if every department builds its own little Gen AI solution without central oversight on data privacy or interoperability. That creates new inefficiencies, new silos, and ultimately hinders broader organizational coherence and effectiveness. This is precisely why resources like the AI Strategic Leader Program and AI Essentials course are explicitly mentioned in the brief. They address the need for structured, organization-wide AI capability building beyond just basic trust. It demonstrates that technical acumen is crucial for achieving scale and systemic change.
My point is that even as we scale the human element, it remains paramount. Look at the latest in AI plus leadership news section in the AI leader brief. It references the Global Workday Survey, which highlights that the skills least likely to be replaced and most highly valued are things like ethical decision-making, emotional intelligence, empathy, and conflict resolution. Now, these are precisely the higher-order human skills nurtured by a strong trust-building framework. By focusing on build competence, not pressure, as the guide suggests, leaders ensure AI empowers individuals and their roles. It frees them up from maybe routine work so they can apply these unique human capabilities more fully. This is really the essence of leveraging AI as a co-pilot. It's not to replace human potential, but to augment it, making individuals stronger, more creative, more strategic in their respective roles, whether they're in product development or human resources. It focuses on the irreplaceable value human beings bring to the equation, not just the, technical wizardry of the AI itself.
That's a very compelling argument about the value of human skills. Absolutely. But have you considered that while these human skills are indeed irreplaceable, their effective application in an AI-driven environment is actually contingent on a pretty sophisticated understanding of AI's practical capabilities and its limitations? I completely agree, empathy and ethical decision-making are paramount, But consider a scenario. How can an employee effectively apply ethical decision-making regarding an AI's output if they don't understand the potential biases in the training data that produced it, or the inherent limitations of the model they're using? Isn't some level of technical literacy actually a prerequisite for ethically sound judgment in an AI context? Satya Nadella's assertion that AI is the ultimate co-pilot strongly implies that leaders must know how to best partner with it. And that involves understanding what Gen AI can realistically draft versus what absolutely requires human creativity and critical oversight, or how to fine-tune AI effectively to specific organizational contexts to protect proprietary information, for example. Without this technical knowledge, leaders risk misallocating human resources, maybe asking individuals to perform tasks AI could do more efficiently, or conversely, delegating critical human judgment to AI where it's just not capable yet. The AI leader brief puts it well, suggesting future leadership requires the synthesis of technical capability and human wisdom, not just picking one over the other. This means technical understanding isn't just about the machines, it's actually about enabling the wise, effective, and, yes, human application of those very skills you're highlighting.
Well, I think our discussion consistently reinforces that for AI-driven change to truly take hold and, permeate an organization effectively, leaders must first and foremost create an environment of profound psychological safety and trust. When individuals feel protected in their roles, when they feel connected to their teams, valued for their contributions, competent with the new tools, and, crucially, part of the solution, well, their energy shifts. It moves from self-preservation to enthusiastic problem-solving. This deep human connection and feeling of security, that's the core. It enables genuine buy-in, and it accelerates the adoption of AI across all functions and roles, ensuring that the innovation we introduce is met with active engagement, not fearful resistance. It really is this human element that allows the technology to genuinely thrive.
And while that human element of trust is undoubtedly crucial, yes, our conversation also illustrates, I believe, that orchestrating sustainable momentum and AI-driven change demands leaders who also master that AI mastery, leveraging technology to accelerate tasks and decision-making. A robust, informed, strategic, and technical understanding of AI's mechanics, the specifics of vendor solutions, deployment best practices, this is absolutely essential. Without this deep understanding, and perhaps just as importantly, the ability to articulate it clearly, even a very trusting team might find itself navigating an unoptimized, maybe insecure, or simply ineffective technological landscape. And that ultimately hinders progress and could even erode the very trust that was initially built. The future leadership really does seem to require that synthesis of technological capability and human wisdom. The capability to implement effectively, yes, but also the wisdom to do so securely, efficiently, and with real foresight.
Yeah, exactly. As the AI Leader Brief eloquently concludes, leaders who master AI and human-centered trust practices aren't just managing change, they're orchestrating momentum. The future belongs to leaders who can hold both at once. I think our debate today has really illuminated that while both aspects are undeniably indispensable, the emphasis placed maybe where you start or what you prioritize, whether it's cultivating human trust and psychological safety first versus establishing that robust strategic and technical understanding of AI, well, that emphasis can profoundly shape how successfully change is implemented.
Mm-hmm. And it also dictates how different roles across an organization experience that change, and ultimately how effectively organizations truly unlock the full transformative potential of AI. It's clear that this isn't really an either-or proposition, is it? It's more a dynamic interplay where each element continuously informs and influences the other. The real challenge for leaders, I suppose, is finding that optimal balance, recognizing that a deficiency in one area will inevitably impact the efficacy of the other. There is clearly much more to explore in this ongoing, evolving relationship between human connection and technological capability, as AI continues to redefine our workplaces and our leadership imperatives.